Heisey Glass Company with the little intro music. Check them out in the description below.
Yes.
Welcome to Titans Tube. Biggest shout outs to our sponsors, hang10.com. Use the code TitansTube for 10% off your order and the Backyard Dog BBQ Sauce. If you're noticing,
there's a third box with a
footage,
person in it, Caleb. This is exciting.
There it is. Yeah, who is that? Who we got over there?
Who is this?
Well, if you've ever been to a Titans home game in the past, what, 4 or 5 years, you better know who this guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the on-field. What would you call it, Lance? The hype man.
I'm an in-game host.
The in-game.
I'm the
host.
Titans in-game host. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Not the voice of the Titans. That's Mike Keith. I am just an in-game host. I am a game player with the fans, and I break down plays. I don't even know what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we got Lance Smith joining us today for tonight's episode. And Lance, if I'm just going to offer my opinion real quick,
please.
Just hearing your voice in my earbuds, I think one day you could take over as the voice of the Titans.
Oh no! You know what? It would be a dream. But that man, oh my God, how good is Mike Keith? Right?
He's
a legend
already.
He's the fabric. He's a part of the fabric of the team. That's the thing.
Oh yeah.
I tell you what, honestly, a dream job would be color, because he can break down a play live in real time like nobody's business, and still add good color to it. I mean, he's amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be fun to do color. Although, you know, with Coach Mack there, like, that's a great squad.
They've got a
Listening to those games,
great chemistry between them. They're
a great squad.
Yeah.
Well, you have a good voice too, so I think one day I would like to hear it commentating on the Titans, or just keep on visiting us on Titans Tube, and then people can listen to it that way.
Consider this your
we
job
got Lance Smith
offer.
Joining us.
We pay $0, but the job is still there if you'd like it. Just saying.
Oh,
just saying.
I'm liking this because I can drink on this job.
You can drink on this job.
Yeah,
totally. But yeah, we got Lance Smith joining us tonight. We're gonna go over some mid-season review, get his take on what's been happening with the Titans so far. 3-4, coming off our bye week. Got Dallas at home on Monday night, so we'll talk about the season that has been up to this point, and then we'll also preview the Monday night game against Dallas, kind of a must-win scenario for the Titans, and get everyone's thoughts on that. But first, let's get into the beginning of the season, Lance. The Titans are sitting at 3-4. I want to know what your thoughts are on the team as we are right now, as opposed to where you thought we might be at this point in the year.
Right. Well, a lot of people, or before the season started, thought 3-4 was where we would be after 7 games. You know, at the bye week, they thought 3-4 was it, but not how we did it. And I think that's the most surprising thing. I mean, everybody's thinking that. The 3-1 was amazing. Beating the Eagles was amazing. Beating the Jaguars down in Jacksonville when the Jags were still hyped was amazing. I mean, of course, now we've seen, you know, what they're truly made of. Jacksonville, that is. So, yeah, it's surprising sort of how we got here. But the 3-4 aspect of it, you know what? We kind of expected this. I think, if anything, Vrabel and company are sort of having a gut check of sorts, because to start off hot is awesome, but then reality sets in of like how hard this game is, how hard wins are to come by.
Yeah.
So I thought the bye week came at a great time. It sucked to lose 3 in a row, but
it was awesome to be 3-1. You know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But by the way, I should start with a caveat, or put one in here. Everything I say is my own opinion. I love my job and love what I do, and I love working for the Titans. But this is all just Lance Smith fan talk, for real. Yeah.
And that's a good point, too, we should point out, because, Lance, even though you do work for the team or whatever, I know you've have a lot of background in working in media and video with CMT, but you actually are a die-hard Titans fan. You were at the Music City Miracle game as a kid, I guess. I don't know how old you are, but I was a kid.
I was 21. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I
was 21.
So you're a diehard fan. So your opinion. I mean, you do speak as a fan as much as anyone else.
Absolutely. I mean, that's sort of how I got the job. Was that just a quick backstory? You know, this is my 4th season with the team. But I worked for CMT for a decade. I grew up, actually, ironically, in Franklin, Tennessee, same town as Mike Keith. We didn't know each other back then.
But yeah, it's set up. It's set up to be the duo of the Titans radio future.
We're
Mike
both
Keith
from Franklin
and Lance Smith.
Right. Yeah. So I was always a fan, and yeah, I went to that game. Went to a lot of games actually, but yeah, being at the Miracle was obviously the best. Worked for CMT, and then the crew that runs game day, I know those cats, and so a few years back they called me and said, you know, hey, we need a guy to do this. Would you want to do it? And originally I was only supposed to do like 1 or 2 things, and it became a lot of things, which it's great.
That's what always happens, you know.
Yeah, yeah, but it's fun. So, but with that said,
production.
I'm a diehard fan. I bleed two-tone blue.
Well, I'm sure if your employers do watch this, they're not gonna write you up or anything like that. Like, Lance, we didn't approve of your opinion. Not. You're out. Hopefully, that doesn't happen.
And they definitely watch the show. I mean, everyone watches the show and listens to it. So
yeah,
I mean,
J-Rob,
that's a given.
Everybody.
Yeah. Anyways,
you've had some big guests on the show.
Paul Kaharski, he was a different tone with him. Oh yeah, we had Hutton on the show.
You had Hutton? Come on.
Sorry, Jonathan Hutton.
But hey, I mean, this is a different level. This is Lance Smith we're talking about. I think we've reached new heights here. I'm not trying to dissuade what we have going on here. But yeah, I'm sorry, we got sidetracked. Where were we? Talking about this Titans team.
That's what I do.
So 3-4 coming out of the bye week. So like, yeah, I agree with that. Like you said, a lot of people probably thought we'd be 3-4 at this point in the season, but not on a 3-game skid. 3-4 coming into this game.
But name the teams that are where they thought they would be. I mean, did Kansas City really think they'd be here? I mean, maybe the Rams. The Rams were hot last year, and they. The Rams are where many people thought they would be. But there's probably only a handful of teams that are where you really thought they would be. I mean, even Cleveland's winning games.
Right.
Not many, but...
Yeah, and because of that, they fired the coach, Hugh Jackson, so I don't get that.
Yeah.
I'm on record saying they were going to go 2-6, and he would get fired, and I missed it by... Yeah.
You didn't account for the time, Lance. That's pretty dumb of you not to think about that.
I know. I'm such an idiot.
Yeah. Especially with only 10-minute overtimes this season. So you kind of expect, you think 3-4 is, what an expectation that was kind of met. I mean, I'm sure every team would want to be 8-0 or 7-0 by this point, but you think 3-4, looking at the scope of this Titans team, is okay in your mind, and especially with how things have turned out.
I think it's okay we've got must-win games in front of us. These are must-win games coming up if we want to not just salvage it. This isn't about salvaging a season. This is about going deep into the playoffs. That's what we want. I would say maybe expectations. But did I expect 3-4? No. I think at this point I'm a diehard. I'm a homer. I was expecting
same dude.
Two losses, maybe 3. If it was 4-3, 5-2. That's what I was expecting. We've got talent. Yeah. We've got talent. We've got some dynamic coaches. But man, we're building this car as we travel down the road.
And let's keep in mind too that we have 2 games where we lost by 1 point. We've played a lot of close games. Some we've won, some we've lost. So that's just kind of the nature of the NFL. I guess you are what your record shows, but this Titans team does play close games, and we could very easily be 6-1. Or we could easily be 1-6 at the same time. It's just when it comes down to the clutch moments in games, Nick Williams make the catch against the Bills. We probably have that game.
Yeah.
Convert that 2-point conversion. I mean, we're looking at a Titans team in a completely different light in that regard.
Yeah, that's true. That's all true. But the drops or the missed whatevers or the offensive line play of the Ravens game. I mean, there have been problems
still drinking to that
this season, but we're working on it. We're fixing it. And I'll tell you this much. I mean, you don't see finger pointing. You see some grumbling fans on social media, but you don't see finger pointing. Everybody's doing their job.
No, seeing fights in the locker room, such as Jacksonville.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, that's the thing that gets me. I mean, Taylor caught some flack about the "we deserve respect" comment, and then we got hammered 3 games in a row. That's unfortunate, but I get what he was saying, and I still think we deserve respect, though we've got to prove it on the field. But everyone's crowning the Jags at the start of the season. They were the AFC champs, or at least going to the AFC Championship game again. But look at them now. Who would you rather be? Which the Titans or the Jags?
I would choose Titans 100 out of 100 times, even if we were 0-16 or 0-7 at this
point. Of course. Yeah.
But
what situation would you rather deal with? I guess. Sure. It's like Bortles is lost.
So for your expectation for the team as a year sitting at this point, what would you say then have been your biggest surprises or biggest letdowns from where you thought we would be? It can be either with one player or as a talent as a whole. I mean, for me, I would say, looking at the year, even through the off season, a lot of people thought we would kind of solidify our wide receiver depth, thinking that was an issue. And now 7 games in, that issue is looking more and more glaring as they've our young receivers have dealt with drops, have dealt with struggling to get open, and that's just having a compounding effect on the whole offense. So that's something that's almost like met expectations, which is rare for fans to be like, hey, we look like we're really weak at wide receiver. Okay, we don't make a move, and now it's the storyline's panning out to support that. So that's almost not a surprise. But what would you say is a surprise, or what kind of leads you to see things as they shaped out so far?
Right. Surprise for me, I guess biggest surprise, and I don't want to say the word letdown because there's still lots of season left to play.
True.
And they've played well, and but like our O-line gets banged up early in the year. We patchwork this thing together. Great coaching. The second and third string guys come together and put together some really great offensive line work. But the Ravens game, that baffled me, and even the Bills for that matter. These losses that we're having, Mariota's getting rushed and pressured a little too much. The pocket isn't as clean. I know there's talent there, but it's not been as consistent as it was at this point last year. So that's a surprise. The wide receiver stuff for me, a lot of that hinges on the Delaney loss. In that, you lose him first game. So with Delaney, there's the defense has to respect his routes more because he runs great routes. And with that, maybe zones get softer. Maybe these other receivers have better opportunities if Delaney's on the field. So I think that changes a lot. The drops are just... I think by the law of averages, that means we're going to catch everything for the rest of the year.
I do too. I'm there too. It has to even out somehow. You don't just go through a season with 20+ drops. Which is, I think, what we're on pace for right now.
We are leading, or no, second in most under Cleveland. I think they have the most drops. Well, the other thing too is, and no one anticipated the Rashard Matthews bolt.
Right.
Yeah. And look, here's the deal. When Rashard, you guys might have thought this. I know I did. Coming out of Miami, you want Jarvis Landry, but I'll take Rashard. And what did he give us? He gave us clutch moments, and he was a great receiver.
Consistency. We never have consistency at receiver.
Exactly. And, this is just my opinion. I don't know anything behind the scenes, but I'm sure maybe when he was brought to the team, he was told, hey, you're looking like a number one. And, but we got Corey Davis, and we're trying to do this thing with our offense. And it didn't jive with him. And I think the thing that shocked people is that Rashard wasn't giving you diva in the locker room. So when he made the call to bolt, it was just a real, Monday morning, Mr. Robinson, this isn't my thing. And I respect that on a personal level. Everyone got upset and said he quit the team, but I'm like, well, yeah, but he just did his thing. It's just we weren't planning on it.
And there was the timing of it too, of course, in the context of, we were dealing with injuries. We didn't have all of our starters there all at the same time. Mariota, his hand, Delaney going out, Taylor Lewan, and some of the offensive line dealing with injuries. Like, this offense hasn't been completely healthy, and during all of that is when he decides to make his exit. So that kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way too.
It burned for sure, but I'm like, well, but I'd rather see that than diva. And news about this guy's bitching about this and that and the other. And it sucked to see him go, but it's a bunch. That's a team of individuals. And they're going to do what they're going to do. So, hey, Rashard out, Delaney down. That messed with the receiving game.
Along that lines, we should definitely address this because this was big non-news since nothing happened on the trade front, which a lot of Titans fans wanted to see. John Robinson bringing in a receiver to help out this receiving core. We saw Demaryius Thomas go to the Texans, Golden Tate going to Philadelphia, Amari Cooper, a first-rounder, going to Dallas. Which
we'll see soon.
We'll see how that works out for him soon.
And all we do is sign a fullback.
And we signed
Justin
Fowler.
That we previously discarded. So
that's right.
Yes, go Titans.
So Lance, what's your take on that? What is your reaction to nothing happening as far as getting a receiver in here to help this core? And what do you have anything to say to some of the fan reaction to all this, thinking John Robinson blew it by not getting his help, the season's lost, how Twitter can overreact. So what's your take on that?
Well, look, the social media has just amplified the echo chamber of fandom. Everything that you used to hear just at the bar or next to your buddy on the couch is now being
Twitter is just the virtual bar. I sit at home just tweeting and drinking. Right, my life.
Yeah,
so
great. We've all got the platform.
Yeah.
Yep. So it was loud. Fans say, "Well, we should have done this and we should have done that." Here's the deal. I know that there were moves in play. There were calls made. Deals just didn't get worked. And if John Robinson at this point says they were too pricey, or it was too much of a risk, or what are we doing? We're renting a guy for 8 games or so, and then we're not going to be able to follow up on a contract. There's a lot at stake there. So I get the business side of things. And, we talked about this before, the three of us. It's a homer answer. I love bringing back in Justin Fowler. I love the fullback position. I think it's something that's lost in the NFL. I think the fact that he has familiarity with, a lot of the personnel. I mean, obviously not this group and the coaching staff, but, he's familiar with the team. He knows the layout of everything, and he knows the guys on the team. I think, the Derrick Henry woes, that he's not quite doing what we know he's capable of. I think Nudie Fowler fills a lot of spaces. Mariota gets more protection behind the line of scrimmage. We don't need to put Luke Stocker back there at the fullback position. We have an actual fullback who wants to run people over. I don't expect him to get the ball much unless LaFleur wants to drop something fancy. Sure.
And we've seen him catch passes.
Short fullback
he can catch the ball if you throw it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was just the smarter move. It's not sexy. It's not Amari Cooper. It's not Demaryius Thomas. It's not Golden Tate, local guy.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But, you bring in a guy like that, what does that tell Corey? And Tajay seems to be coming along, after that injury year that he had. Remember his first year?
Yeah.
We loved what he was capable of. Then he got hurt. But remember, Tajay was good, and he just had a great game.
He can move the chains, move the reliable hands, finds the soft spots on the D. He's a possession receiver. I mean, I think all his catches this year minus 1 have gone for first downs. So Tajay it's really good to see him step up so far.
Yeah. So again, pieces are there. What did we need, or what did the fans want? A receiver. What did we need? Yeah, we need a fullback. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah,
play him right.
I like it too. I mean, the Fowlers. I like hearing confidence from another Titans fan, because I was a little puzzled by bringing back in Justin Fowler after a team and a coaching staff that had previously preached, running the ball, exotic smash mouth, and then they discarded this fullback, and now this new staff is bringing him back in. But so I like hearing someone voice confidence in them, because I don't think I've seen that anywhere in Titans social media.
It's such a nice, refreshing take to hear someone, that is optimistic about this move and then the non-receiver move. I really like what you said about what that tells Corey Davis, Taywan Taylor. I mean, these are still young players. They're in their second year. And you don't know what that could do, to their confidence if you just bring in a guy and they get bumped down the depth chart for a year, maybe 2 years at most.
Right.
Who knows how long that free agent or that receiver that we trade for stays with the team.
There's a definite currency of trust that's being mined and developed within that locker room, with not just the players but the coaches and together with the players. And I think Vrabel's doing a good job of holding this thing together and really trying to prove that it's us guys. This is us. It's for the boys, and we're going to get this done. And so, I'm a homer, but that's how I see it, in a positive light. Yeah. But also, too, speaking of homers, and I'm going to name drop a little bit. But I host a show called Titans Blitz on Wednesday night on WSMV.
Check it out.
With one Eddie George.
Yeah.
And we talked. Yes. I say that every time he comes in. It's just me and him, and he's like, "Lance, this is awkward.
His name?
This is really awkward."
You chant his name when he comes in?
Yeah, I do. Eddie.
George,
he's like,
I would give anything to
this is a urinal, Lance. Stop it.
But
this is a urinal.
No, but Eddie talked about Justin and compared him to his days with Lorenzo Neal, and he spoke very highly of what this could be. So a lot of my positivity comes from that conversation too.
Just to be honest, Lance, we only have you on the show to get in contact with Eddie George. So if you could schedule him for next weekend, that would be amazing.
He's actually right here.
Oh, he's right there.
He's right here in my living room. Yeah, he just hangs out with me wherever. But he didn't
call him over.
Eddie,
I
really
got
want to trade lives with you.
Oh.
He says no count.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
sorry, Eddie. I'm cool.
Just tell him to shout. Yeah. We can talk to him if he just shouts real loud.
Yeah. No, we're cool with having you on for now.
Actually,
for now.
For now. We'll see you later. I did want to say one more thing before we wrap up that little topic. One player I think that could be impacted in not a positive way, not talking about a receiver, but the tight end position is Jonnu Smith. I think this move could possibly take him off the field in a lot of situations where, Luke Stocker lines up as the tight end one, and we just bring out Nudie Fowler to either line up as a second tight end or in a fullback position.
Yeah.
Jonnu Smith, I think all fans can agree, he has been a disappointment in filling the shoes of Delaney Walker and being that receiving threat, that consistent, blocker at the line of scrimmage. So I think he could see a real regression in number of snaps going forward.
While I agree, I think though that, and considering like when you got him, when we picked him up, how many snaps was he expected to have at this point with a healthy Delaney?
Yeah.
So I think wanting him to be Delaney 2.0 is one thing, but it's too early. And
way too early.
I think he's talented and he can deliver that down the line, but again, Delaney got hurt. That shifted everything. I mean that really everything went through Delaney. It's forced Marcus to go through his progressions a little more slowly because he doesn't have that. Well, I've got Delaney. Yeah, I've got this safety valve at the end. So it's changed everything. I agree with you, Jonnu. I mean, we're all remembering that drop, the big drop on the sideline to move the chains. And that stinks, but that's the game, and it's tough. But I still believe in him. I think he's got talent, but it's going to take time. And there's also Ferkser too. I know we don't mention his name a lot.
Hey,
but
Stalker just caught a fourth and goal touchdown pass. Okay, at the end of the game. Guys got some hands, right?
So
send him deep. Let's go. Yeah, screw it. Send him up the seam like
these guys aren't running routes.
All right, well, we can go ahead and move on then.
Well, hold on. I was gonna say last point, kind of comparing. One thing we're talking about Jonnu Smith and Justin Fowler trading snaps. One point, I think it was brought up. I think it was on social media in the last game. Jonnu Smith on that Deion Lewis long run. It showed towards the end Jonnu Smith not continually blocking his guy down the field, and if he had, that could have gone for a long touchdown. And one memorable moment of Justin Fowler is on that, I think it was against the Seahawks at home. Rashard Matthews catches the screen, and Justin Fowler, we highlighted it in the postgame because he literally blocks the same dude all the way into the end zone down the field.
Like 70 yards. Yeah.
So I like just the attitude, the Justin Fowler attitude. I'm still very curious to see exactly how we're going to utilize him because one of the biggest surprises for me through half the year is how, I guess, inconsistent the run game's been. I was kind of expecting, especially bringing Deion Lewis in, for Derrick Henry to have some good, consistent games, for us to be able to almost rely on the run game when our young receivers weren't getting open, and we haven't really been able to do that. So I'm curious to see how Justin Fowler is going to help with that problem, but overall I like just the attitude of bringing a tough-nosed, a blue-collar football player in there that will block someone 70 to 80 yards for the whole play. I think we need more of guys like that on the team, more veterans that have been here before, instead of bringing in like someone like a rental receiver, like a Golden Tate, or someone with the case of the drops is like Amari Cooper, former number one overall pick, a number one pick. So I like it, but I'm also very curious to see how he's going to actually translate to production on the field. That was just my last point. Just throwing that out there.
No, I agree. I think that I think he will elevate Derrick Henry's game immensely. Derrick, the last game in London, he had a nice first step. He had. It's not that he doesn't have the burst as a little man because he's a big dude. It takes a little bit of energy to get that body moving. Yeah. But where is he great? He's great beyond the line of scrimmage. Well, we got to get in there, and that is the play of a fullback. And so I think he's going to just open up a lot of doors for Derrick, just having him on the field. Plus, they're buddies. I think I saw on Twitter. Justin's staying at his he's staying at his house right now.
I did not see that. I saw something about it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Moving forward, I got a question because I think it's been a pretty hot topic 7 games in, and that's confidence in Marcus Mariota. We're seeing him this is his 4th year in the league. I know he's dealt with some injuries here and there, and he's been dealing with an injury so far this season. I think he's finally starting to practice with the glove and expected to play without it on Monday. Is that the trend I'm hearing?
Yeah.
But overall, I think most people were pretty bought into him being the franchise quarterback after the playoffs last year. But even 7 games in, I'm seeing extreme sides of the argument to where people are ready to give up on him, move past him after this season when his contract is done, and then other people being like, no, this is still our guy. And I kind of want to hear what you think about that, because from a personal standpoint, I think Justin preaches this too. We believed in the guy, but I got to say my confidence was a little shaken after that Baltimore Ravens game. And I know it had to deal with a lot of issues outside of Mariota, but even as we're progressing through the bye week, watching a guy come in like the 49ers quarterback on Thursday night, throwing up more touchdowns than Mariota has on the whole season, and then watching your franchise quarterback lay a dud at home, getting sacked 11 times, only completing 10 passes with no touchdowns, like, at what point is the waning confidence justified? What do you think on Mariota right now?
Or how many more excuses? Exactly. Are we just trying to make more excuses for Mariota and for this lack of production?
I've made excuses for him before. I'm sure you guys have, and there's been times where it's like, all right, that was on you, dude.
And I think they're legitimate excuses a lot of times, though.
Honestly, we love the guy. We want him to be the guy that we know he can be, or we've seen him be. The mistakes that happen. The problem is, man, you guys know it's a complicated game, and oftentimes it's not Mariota's fault. It's the wrong route, or by a receiver. It's a timing issue. Here's the deal. I get all that, and it's easy to judge. It's easy to be an armchair quarterback judging a guy like Mariota because he's so unconventional. He's not a prototypical quarterback. He's not Russell Wilson. He's not Aaron Rodgers, but he's some kind of hybrid. We're just looking for that, I could give a more honest assessment, honestly, after 2 full seasons with the same OC and the same head coach. And he hasn't had that.
Because he hasn't had that yet.
Right. Yeah. So, the guy's been dealing with an ever-evolving offense.
4 offensive coordinators in every year. To new offensive coordinator every single year.
Exactly. Yeah, so a new offensive coordinator, exactly. And so now I think what we have with this core, I think they're really honestly trying to build around him, but you can't all of a sudden just implement an Oregon offense. He's not going to be a Duck again. So I think he's done really well with what he's got. I think he's learning on the go. But he is a leader. He really is a leader. He's not a mouth, but he's a leader, and he uses that mouth when it's necessary. But give me the guy that's going to stiff-arm Church, that's going to get up in Jenkins' face, that's going to give you the block at the end of the handoff. Oh, you need an extra few yards, Derrick Henry? Let me apply my shoulder to this guy's grill.
Into a freaking huge linebacker.
Right.
Bam.
And, he's got it. So, and also, too, he's not affected by the naysayers either. I mean, he's just doing his job, So that's the guy I want. Now, when he starts costing you more games than he's winning for you, then it's a conversation. But that's not happening. That's not happening.
I don't think that's the case this year. I think we're 1-6 without Mariota this year. I don't think we win against Philadelphia without Mariota.
Yeah.
And even though we only scored 9 points against Jacksonville, which was good enough to win, I don't think Blaine Gabbert gets us 9 points in that game.
No.
So I think, he's gotten us to where we are, at least on the win column, and I don't think he's really the one to blame when you're looking at the losses either at the same time.
And what's that cat's name for San Francisco?
Nick Mullins? Is that it? Mullins? Yeah.
Nick Mullins?
Yep.
Yeah. Who's got tape on Nick Mullins? Yeah, so he's got talent. I think he's good, but it's not like that defense was really prepared for Nick Mullins, the cannon, right? So it's easy to sort of compare guys like that. I've seen that stat about his numbers versus Mariota's numbers, but situation.
Yeah. No, I love.
Yeah, three touchdown passes for Mariota. I mean, that just seems crazy in today's NFL, but.
Yeah.
Here we are, still making excuses for him. We might be right about it,
but he's also.
But for a lot of people still believe in him. So that it's this weird dynamic we're seeing. Because with any other team, and you're looking at box scores, and you're like, that quarterback has 3 touchdown passes in the 6.5 or 5.5 games he's played with us this year.
But it's also his fourth. It's his 4th season, and he just threw his first red zone interception. That was a tip.
True. True.
So,
True.
I mean, you know, if you're going to look at stats, it's like he doesn't. His are not the stats to look at. You can't judge him by his stats.
Yeah, the stat I've never seen an instance where stats do not tell the story more so than with Mario.
Does that worry you at all, though? That even 7 games in, that the stats just aren't there. I just, you know, just a little worry for me is just how easy it is over the 4 years that we've had Marcus Mariota. How easy it is to just make a list of excuses for him to why the production isn't there on the field. And even when we're winning games, like the Jacksonville game, we only put up field goals, and you're seeing teams average 20-plus points per game, and it's like we've only made it there once this season. I know he missed a few games, but
I think it does. There's some of that there, definitely, in terms of my worry for, you know, his numbers or his production. I say this, and this is just an eye test, and knowing kind of the person that he is. I think he plays in his head a little too much too often. I think sometimes he's, you know, looking through his progression, and he's not just looking like open guy, covered guy, open guy, nothing like that. I think he's more like he's got soft hands, but he doesn't like it when I throw it at 88 miles per hour. He probably needs it at 70. He's got, you know, I think he processes too much. He's too cerebral when it comes to, and because I think honestly, like you see, he throws a different ball to his different receivers. I think he's honestly thinking about too much about the catch when it's like, dude, just get it there. You know, it's like Brett Favre went out and played backyard football his entire career. And I think maybe we want to see a little bit more, I don't want to say a Favre in Mariota, but just that sort of backyard football style of play, because that's when Mariota's the most exciting. That's when he's shoving his shoulder into somebody's face.
Yeah.
So you know, and so therefore, maybe he's doing his head. That's just an opinion. That's just an eye test.
So Lance's bosses don't write him up for that. No, I'm just kidding. I know. I agree. When you see, it's almost you can see that fire kind of turn on in Mariota's eyes, a la Jacksonville game last year to get into the playoffs, stiff arm Barry Church, and then the Kansas City game. It's like this dude can just turn it on. It's just, I just feel like we need to channel that into be a more consistent thing, game in and game out. And I think that's reliant on the whole offense, from coaches down, offensive line.
Yeah, so, everybody.
I still got faith in Mariota as the guy. It's good to hear other people voice it too, because Justin and I are there. But there's. It's not just like you see Aaron Rodgers is like, oh yeah, that's our guy for the next 20 years. There's questions about Mariota still moving forward, but
I get it.
Understandably
reasonable.
Yeah, I mean year 4. Yeah, I mean you kind of expect him to take that turn for the better, but they got lots of external factors.
Yes,
we just talked about.
But you know what though? No. He's not sweating it. He's not sitting around going, oh God, am I on the bubble? No.
No, he's not like reading comments on Twitter like, oh,
thank God
they hate
he's
me.
not on Twitter. Oh. Jesus.
I love that he's not on Twitter.
He doesn't have
I love that.
I mean, I know he listens to this show, but Mariota, stay off Twitter, bro.
Of course.
It's the only. It's the only thing he tunes into. Surely.
Okay, let's start looking ahead to this Monday night game and kind of previewing that. Dallas, a very similar team to us, 3-4. NFC East is pretty wide open, especially with how the Eagles have been playing thus far, and also very similar kind of scope of the teams in terms of talent. Dallas is really good at running the ball. I know they got a star in Ezekiel Elliott. Titans haven't been as good this season, actually putting up the rushing production numbers. Both teams are kind of bottom in the league in passing, both with, I would say, underratedly strong defenses. So what are you looking at in terms of playing Dallas? Because Dallas actually did go out and make a move to bolster their bottom of the pack ranked pass defense by trading for Amari Cooper, which a lot of Titans fans wanted. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays on Monday. I know he's only been with the team for a little over a week or something. But what are you looking at going into this game to be some of the keys for the Titans in getting the win going up against Dallas? Yeah, Monday night.
Yeah, a lot of similarities there. It's gonna be a good game. I think I like it for the Titans. It's the first of the next 4 games, so they've got 2 of the next 4 games are Monday Night Football.
There's your national media, Taylor Lewan.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there we go. Spotlight.
Yeah, and no pressure. That's the thing. You're not playing at home. I like us playing on the road under these circumstances because we get to go play villain. We get to go upset some teams while still fighting for our own life. The Dallas game's gonna be tough. They do have a good defense. Because here's the deal. while you cannot look ahead to the Patriots, our next home game after Dallas, you've got to show that in this bye week and getting Nudie Fowler that you have fixed your offense, or at least plugged a lot of holes. You got to put up some points. We have not put up a lot of points, obviously. Have we gone over
just
20
the Eagles
at all?
No.
Not counting the Eagles game because that 6
overtime
came in. Yeah,
we beat Houston 20-17.
20-17, right? But
I think we hit 20 against Miami too.
Yeah, it was 27-20 to Miami. So we haven't gone over 20 in regulation. We have to do that, and it's going to be hard against defense. You have to do that because you have to do that against the Patriots. We're going to have to put points on the board against Brady. Again, not looking ahead because you can't do that as a coach or player, but we have to prove in this game that we can do that. Establish the run
for real.
Yep.
And, I think when it comes to a defensive standpoint, Amari Cooper, yeah, he's only been with the team for a little while. I mean, you got to guard him. He's got hands, he's got skill, but I think he maybe has 2 or 3 catches. The guy I'm worried about is Cole Beasley. Cole Beasley knows how to find soft spots and zones, which we have presented.
And all Cole Beasley's needed so far this season is someone else to take the spotlight off of Cole Beasley, which is what he's had in the past. So maybe Amari Cooper, if that's all he does for Cole Beasley, that's all Cole Beasley needs, in my opinion. Yeah.
Cole Beasley's he's been a great player for years. I don't get as into fantasy football as I used to, but there for a while, I mean, he was, especially DraftKings, he was my go-to because he was just so sneaky good. Everybody's looking for Edelman. I'm like, man, Beasley's going to have a dynamite game. So, look out for him. Obviously they're going to feed Zeke. We've given up a lot of rushing yards this year, purposely though. I think we've been really, careful against the pass. So, I don't want to say you got to shut him down, but contain. And you need to contain Dak by way of not getting him outside. Don't let him impersonate
Patrick Mahomes. Is that Mahomes?
Yeah, Mahomes. Rolling with Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Yeah. Ugh. So that's my sort of recipe. Yeah, he can. He can. He can throw on the run.
Dak has that ability, extend plays, and he can beat you with the pass or run.
But you know what? I mean, Dallas has pressure right now with where they're at. Same record.
Yeah.
Jerry's watching.
It's kind of a must-win for both teams. I mean, I think we're going to see 2 teams that are fighting really hard in this game.
But unless we boat race them, unless we put up 50, if we beat them, it'll still be how Dallas on the national media, how Dallas faltered, how Dallas
isn't
failed.
The answer.
It's like it's right. It won't be anything about the Titans are actually pretty good and got their crap
That's
together.
a very good point. I do like how you're saying. I think it bodes well in our favor that the Monday night game is in Dallas, and they just signed Amari Cooper, because if the situations were reversed. And this was the Titans playing at home after signing a receiver with the struggles we've had, there would be so much pressure on that offense to put up 40 points. I mean, what Titans fan would be happy if we were in Dallas' situation and we still had a game where we only won 12-10, putting up field goals. I think the scenario is laid out for us to kind of play underdog, which is what the Titans are good at doing the past few seasons. So I like that. Justin, what are you looking at as your keys to the game, and what areas do the Titans need to focus on to get the win?
Lance already kind of said this, but I think containing Zeke is the most important thing. We can't give that offense, two ways to beat you, passing and running. I think we have to make Dak beat us with his arm, which he's proven to be very inconsistent at when the game has to be put in his hands. So for me, I think the most important thing is containing Zeke. Like Lance said, we don't have to shut him down because he is one of the best backs in the game. But kind of just make them one-dimensional, and hopefully, fingers crossed, our offense can flip that around and give us enough points to win the game if we can maintain some stoppage of their offense.
We got to own time of possession. Really,
Dallas?
I think.
Yeah.
I think someone's cutting down a tree here, so apologize.
Why are people cutting down trees? You gotta love the trees, man. They give us oxygen.
Don't let it hit you
for breath.
This time of night in Florida. Right.
People in Florida.
That's fine. Yeah, containing Zeke is a big one. I also think I think you mentioned it, Lance, too. Containing Zach, not letting him just have that backyard. Dak. Did I say Zach?
He got called Zach all the time in school. You know it. And he had to
Dak,
correct everybody.
And not letting him just become that backyard football sensation like Patrick Mahomes is, because I think when Dak's been at his best the previous 3 years, it's when he's doing that stuff. When he has that Mariota fire of like, I'm going to win this game no matter what, with my legs, with my arm, it's going to get done. And I think that starts early with a more consistent pass rush, and I think we haven't really been able to.
Yeah.
We've had it at times. We've seen flashes of it, but I would love to see it consistent for a full 4 quarters or overtime, whatever it takes. And then also, just another one of my keys, and this may be simple, but I think we really need to start fast out of this game. I think if Dallas comes out and jumps on us early in a primetime game on Monday, it's going to be hard for this offense to kind of generate the type of momentum we need to get back into this game. So I would love to see us in the first quarter. First quarter and a half, put up some points. Stick it to them early. We're coming off the bye. I know they are too, but we should be well rested and hopefully better, not as injured, though Corey Davis is still dealing with a hamstring. It's another issue, apparently. But I think that's a big key to me. I think we really need to start fast and not take that early punch in the mouth, because that would worry me trying to get back into the game.
Because we can't halfway through the first quarter, asking Mariota and the passing offense to get us back in the game already would be a very bad sign.
Yeah, no, I agree. Starting early, owning time possession, I think those are definite
So do you
keys.
predict a win then, Lance?
Man, okay. Yeah.
I could see this being a low-scoring game, and I could see this being, upwards to 30, because we got to put the points up. And it's like, if we're in sort of not desperation, but we need to show that we can score, and we do hit those kind of numbers, they're going to try to answer. Especially, and if they've got big plays, it turns into that kind of, I don't want to say shootout, but I don't know. So score-wise, I see this being a 15 12 kind of thing. Yeah, and here's the deal. I like a field position games with a lot of field goals. I'm weird.
That's why Brett Kern is awesome to be a Titans player that likes that, because we win the field position battle like every single game. He's pinning people deep. It's just we don't do much with it so far.
Yeah, so far. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Dude, he's incredible. Pinning punts literally half a yard on the sideline inside the 10 so consistently.
So it's fun to watch.
Let's move on real quick. I apologize, guys, but I've got like 3 minutes of tape left. So
let's rattle through.
I do want to hit this last topic, the outlook for the rest of the season, Lance. 3-4. A lot of people say this is must win for the Titans, but hey, we're 2-0 in the division. This division no one is running away with this division. I know Houston has just won 5 straight out of nowhere.
Well, and close games,
but close games and not incredible, competition. They lost to the Giants, for goodness sakes. Come on, we can keep pace with the Texans. We just got to do our thing, in my opinion. But the season isn't lost. Screw all these fans that are giving up already. But anyway, what's your outlook here for the rest of the season?
I must win. What is a must win in football? I mean, you only got 16 games. They're all must win, in my opinion. Is this must win? Can we still make the playoffs with a loss here? Yeah, of course we can. But it would be loss number 4 in a row, and therefore, to me, it's a must win just for right now, not in terms of the whole season. I look at it and everything in 4-game stretches. What do we have in front of us? Kind of a tough 4-game stretch, because you don't want to get beat up for the next 2 and then go face the Colts, and God knows what will happen there.
Yeah, Andrew Luck twice. Still is a thorn in our side.
Right, exactly. Luck's never lost to the Titans. Last year it was Jacoby Brissett that we beat. So, I think of the next 4-game stretch, we really need to pull out 3-1. 2-2 would keep us safe. Is the way I see it.
Still, the division is up for grabs. I know the Texans are on their streak right now, but we're in a good position with what we've done early, starting in division play 2-0. It's something that I don't think we've done in years, is to kind of have that cushion almost in the division to lose other games. I think when people are saying this Dallas game is a must-win game, it's obviously they're going to head to the Patriots, almost being like, that one's going to be really, really hard to win too. So it would suck to drop at Dallas, and then you're looking at 3-6 going back into division play. In terms of making the playoffs, I think we're still right in the mix, in a great position. Obviously have to make adjustments and improvements in the team if we actually want to be true contenders, but you said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the talent's there. You can see it. I mean, we're an inch away from Derrick Henry breaking off a long one and Marcus finding rhythm with, you know, 2 guys consistently in one game. And it's just, the stuff's there. We just got to be patient.
I mean, the good thing about
Delaney
Delaney being out is maybe that maybe Derrick Henry can, but yeah, you stand. Forget
ovation for Lance. Optimism.
But yeah, no, exactly. Delaney. I agree with what you're saying about Delaney being out.
Can break a long run because Delaney won't get called for holding, a la Miami game. That's all I was saying. Maybe the one bright spot with Delaney Walker being out. I'm just kidding. Okay, we need to wrap this up Delaney because Justin's almost done with tape. Lance, thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you on the interwebs or in life in general besides Titans home games?
Oh yeah, you know what? It's a personal account, but follow me if you want to. Twitter or Instagram, both the same handle. It's my name without the vowels, so it's just LNCSMTH. There's lots of pictures of my baby girl on it, and
people like
stuff.
babies.
Adorable.
Yes.
Just
thank you for coming.
I had fun, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
definitely.
let's absolutely
guys,
do
thanks
this
for watching.
again.
Make sure you check us out on our social media stuff too, and all that GLS and all that. Anyways, thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Biggest surprises midway through the year. What do you think are going to be the keys to the Dallas game? Can this team turn it around and be an actual contender second half of the season with Justin Fowler leading the way in the backfield as the fullback? Yo.
Yes.
Nudie!
He's about to get 3 touchdowns.
Anyways,
against Dallas.
Titans
Let's go.
Peace.
Send him deep.
We're out.